is Lehens as well, and Lehens has been a little bit of a Janna fan throughout the time. So now we've got a bit of that shield bot, and I love this because Janna Gragas was the ultra epic disengage combo of Destiny, and now you've also got Lee Sin, who's got the kick at the same time. Let's see whether it can happen. I think the mission on the other side is a lot easier, right? This is Chovy doing the best that he can to just launch his way into a backline and destroy Teddy.
By the way, Fate on the Tryndamere, we didn't actually talk about where that ended up going.
Yeah. So he is going to be doing that. Means that it has taken the lethal tempo as well, which will scale a little bit into the latest stages. Was largely a change based on melee use, but still should be fine. Looking cool with his fancy skin as well. Very happy about that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to feel, you know, pretty okay against the LeBlanc. It's not a champion that's just going to outrange you, poke you, and harass you with auto attacks and like medium range spells. It's just going to be Chovy trying to do what he can. And
wow, that tornado goes way faster now. I saw the number. It was like 0.25 or something like that as far as the speed. But man, I don't know whether it's just because I'm used to how fast that ability goes, but I haven't actually been playing with too many Jannas recently, so I haven't really had it sink in.
Nobody plays it
so much faster.
Nobody plays it in my solo queue games, but the thing about the tornado is, like, in abilities like this, is when you see them happen in real life, like, you read the number, you're like, ah, okay, it's pretty solid. Maybe like they could do more, but it's been a long time. When you see it in real life, that's when you realize, like, abilities in League of Legends just in general are super fast. Like, imagine if you made that amplifier to like Blitzcrank's Q. Yep. You'd be like, whoa, that's insane. It's not even fair.
I mean, it did sort of happen. There was the range, wasn't it? So Blitzcrank's Q got buffed, and yeah, a lot of people were like, oh no, it's a disaster. Now Blitzcrank's strong, but not as much of a big deal. As Lehens sitting in the brush, and now it has actually taken, of course, the Whirlwind first. Of course, with Glacial Augment, she is very, very strong. Something that I was having a chat to Chronicler about earlier. I'm sure he'll be able to go in a little bit more depth as to the Janna on the Analyst floating space with a rug involved.
We need the lens of truth to see the chairs.
Yeah, that's basically how it is. We obviously have the lens of truth because we've played so many of the Zelda games way too many times. You haven't played Majora's Mask, though.
No, I know.
I think is an absolute sin, and is just not really.
It's coming out next month, so I'm gonna complete it.
It's been out for quite a few years.
Oh, I just mean on the Switch, like, online thing.
Yes. Well, Peanut's going to get discovered here. Does manage to smite away the big chicken, but Ellen just comes in, steals away all of his popcorn chickens.
Are we going to watch this happen again? Okay. I'm like, I think this happened last game where Ellen was being aggressive and then overextended. But this time, Fate is there. It's all fine. Chovy was very ready to take a 2v1 fight had he not joined. That's just going to allow Ellen to rush down that scuttle. And all is pretty even and boring here on the Rift in this early game.
Yep.
But we almost had a moment there.
We did. That was definitely very exciting. As Fate is struggling against the LeBlanc. Of course, chains are pretty good, and after you hit level 6, the double chains really do mean that you can keep the Tryndamere at arm's length. I feel like you should have a lot of control, as that is a fantastic.
Well, that's the other thing about Leona in this matchup, is that she just gets tornadoed on her way in. So it's very easy if you have Lehen's reflexes to deny like that. Plus, Ruler has cleanse, so it's very nice.
Ow. Chovy taking a bit of damage here from Fate, as Peanut is going to come around. Let's see whether Fate is going to be a little bit more aggressive as soon as he whirls in.
You can only make this happen pre-6, and it's not going to happen because Bellum is here, spotted by a really nicely placed ward there next to the Raptor camp. At least Peanut will be able to secure this scuttle on his way out of here.
Should be absolutely fine. Keen doing a great job here towards the top side as well. Slight nerf to the old Chem Tank Akali, but I think, you know, it's still an option if you'd like to go there.
Yeah, it's not like removed nerf, but
just means that you don't like consta stack it forever with every movement ability that you have all the time.
Considering the composition of GENG, I think Keen will just build, you know, Riftmaker and damage here in this game, but we'll see what he decides to do. Or Protobelt, yeah. Depends on what he wants to do, but I think Protobelt, yeah, considering the Gragas is the only real obstacle in your way, like the Protobelt allows you to engage on top of the squishy backline so far away.
I love this. And you do go a lot faster with that Tailwind now, being able to work moving towards your teammates. As Chovy looks to clear out the wave, does so quite nicely, gets himself an electrocute property there as well.
And Leona's coming up mid. Who says supports go bot?
Yeah, no, that's not how that is.
Not anymore. No.
You got to utilize that extra movement speed that you now get as Janna moving around, because always you used to be able to move faster towards Janna, and now she has that movement speed power herself. Also, 330 movement speed is a lot.
It's pretty significant. I mean, go and try it at home. It's really fast how quickly she moves, and makes it really easy to kind of defend against Leona's engages as well, like I was talking about before, because when you see her coming in, you could just walk up, set up for the tornado block, and as long as you're quick on it, you can really disrupt that and make it very frustrating to execute, as Lehens is right back here in lane. Look at that speed. Yeah, quickly runs. And the early game here is going to be, obviously, it's so changed by this Tryndamere pick, because you have way less kill pressure, because once you hit 6, and like, I think as a result, GENG will really look to try to push this bottom advantage with the Aphelios instead of fighting for Rift Herald, especially with the top prio going over to Keen. It's just going to be so much more difficult to actually look for a Rift Herald fight, and so risky, as Tryndamere is so great at that fight. Plus Akali is going to be really good there. She has the prio. So I'm more curious what Kwangdong are going to do in response, as Peanut is just going to sneak a Drake away. Look at the vision he has. 2 wards, so he knows that this is totally safe to do, and he could back out at any time if it were to be contested, but it's not.
Yep. Howlingale here from Lehens just floats on over. I had the Storm to keep him alive as well. It's really fun to be able to utilize the fact that I remember Janna's abilities, because I've been casting her games for 8 years or something like that. Heck yeah.
I know Monsoon, and I know to say Tornado when the Tornado comes out.
Yep. I mean, that's actually probably all the relevant information that you need. Yeah, Zephyr and Tailwind not necessarily going to tell you exactly what they're going to do. And Zephyr, not exactly ability you're going to be using as much. Of course, Janna previously was a lot more of that poke support in lane, relying on a lot of Zephyr damage and things like that. And now things have been moved around. Now that she's changed. And it used to be that you'd always just press shield and like try and get tornadoes in the right timing, and that was the non-interactive Janna gameplay that I was in love with. And then it was like all poking and actual playing the game, and I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's how I feel about the mini, Udyr rework that's coming through. I'm like, I just liked it when I just ran around and slapped the minions. That was my thing with my old man.
Yeah, right? Why do you have to make things all complicated?
Yeah, like, can I just keep it simple? But
yep.
The Rift Herald has spawned, and this is what I was kind of talking about here, is does Kwangdong FREECS actually look for the rotation up, or do they just kind of sit down here knowing that GENG don't really want to fight for this and want to actually get played? So I think that this is the correct response. Now, Peanut is here, however. Yeah. Look at Hoyt's positioning, so good.
Yeah, Vision's going to go down, as let's see whether Lehens going to be able to keep his team safe here. He does flash to get himself out of the way, as now Teddy's in trouble. Hoyt's going to get exhausted, and this looks like it should just be that double kill if Peanut can tank up this turret for his team, but the minions get in the way of a potential Q. And Ruler does need to be a little bit careful. In the meantime, Ellen is going to be able to grab Shelly, and Keen is getting some damage down onto these plates topside, but this is a Ruler with a lot of protection and peel, now picking up kills, which is very scary for Kwangdong FREECS.
It's so scary, and also he gets one plate, but it's going to be more. Like, he's looking for a second plate here with this wave stack through. Hoyt is just trying as best as he can to hold this down. And what you get with this Rift Herald isn't going to be necessarily equivalent, because it's not going to be guaranteed, as I actually do like this play a lot. You've got Keen here, too.
Yeah, Keen moving on down. Q is going to connect, but Elam has successfully completed the heist and will be able to make his way out, as Fate's going to get put on the leash, and Chovy continuing to make his life pretty awful. But as you can see, as the dust settles, Fate will actually be able to stay up in farm, and Chovy doesn't like that, as you can see.
Yeah, no, he's trying to trade back a little bit more here, but the decision that Peanut made, like, he was 3 steps ahead of everything we were talking about. Like, okay, Ruler is going to look to stay bottom and do plates if they rotate up. So Kwangdong smartly keep Teddy down there. They send Ellen to the top side. But this is what Peanut expects. He's like, okay, so Ellen will probably try to solo the Herald, because they know we're going to keep our bot duo down here, and we can't really easily contest Ellen. So Peanut's like, I'm going to get a kill bottom. He hits the perfect kick there. onto Teddy to guarantee that it happens, because the positioning of Hoyt was really good, actually, to deny him from getting his Q off there. Still pulls it off in the bottom side. So watch how Hoyt is trying to block the Q from connecting onto Teddy. So Peanut just physically walks in, isn't going to take turret aggro here, goes for the kick, as, you know, Lehens is collapsed onto here as well, and he's like, no, I'm actually totally fine. They don't get a double, and they get 2 plates here for Rift Herald. But again, where will you get that goal here now as Ellum? Where do you get a chance to place this? You could look for the top side of the map if you want to just feed this Akali, but otherwise, bot and mid, you're going to have a really hard time getting value out of this Herald. So I think really not a fair exchange here for Guangdong. I think they lost out on this one.
They certainly did, because of course those 2 plates went down on the bottom side as well, and as you can see, the gold advantage not necessarily massive here for GENG, so it should be evened out, as now Fate gonna, you know, make Chovy a little bit scared and a bit slow, but otherwise Chovy is gonna be fine. Doran body slamming his way towards pseudo parity, as Peanut just here for a potential counter gank, and he needs to be, as there is so much deep vision actually for Guangdong FREECS.
Guangdong, like, we didn't get a Rift Herald fight, but we will just make one. Down here in the bottom lane with our Rift Herald, trying to get that Jinx money in. Look at the hide.
Oh,
he doesn't see him.
Yes, scoping him out, but as you can see, Peanut now going to get found, and there's the Solar Flare. Howling Gale not going to be enough, but the safeguard might be. Fate going to come through there as Teddy looking for another couple of autos. Super Mega Death Rocket on cooldown still, and Peanut's just going to dab his way out.
A true Alcove gamer back there.
Oh, yeah.
Pulls it off, does not have flash, still gets out with the safeguard, and a 4-man rotation comes up with nothing. Nothing, empty hands here. Chovy grabs a plate for his troubles and denies all that sweet farm. Well, it's actually not that much. He's already back in. But was trying to deny all that sweet farm. The Cannon Minion going to help keep Fate up and stacked there. But still, big rotation here, and look what's in that inventory, the trinket inventory for Elm. He's still holding onto that eye because they're not able to turn this into a big play. Would have been massively split, the gold there on the bottom side. Now, by the time they reset and it's all set and done, GENG is back over here getting a free Drake, and they're just 1 step behind. Now, I say free, Fate is here.
Yeah, but Peanut should be able to lock this down. He's very... Oh, no! Ellen's going to be able to come through, steal that one away. Peanut going to safeguard himself over the wall, as now there's a Q onto Hoyt. Chovy in position, and it is a Cloud Drake as well. Janna is here. She did give us the weather report, and I am very happy to see it. Chovy dancing on through. Ruler clearing out minions, as that is a lot of damage onto Peanut, but he does have a blast cone, and now Hoyt finds himself over the wall. Super Mega Death Rocket, not quite enough damage as Ruler going to cleanse. Hoyt taking a lot, and Peanut will finish the kill. Elm now will get knocked up, but GENG look like they are happy with just taking the 1. They did lose out on the Drake, as now Shelly parks herself here on the bottom side, and with the Monsoon, looks like Lehens might be able to stop this one from coming down, and yep, that is no value there at all, as yep, Chovy double dashes forward. And now Ellen with his Crescent Guard is going to be in there. Peanut has to flash out, not able to do damage while that ult is running, as you could see, as the Lee Sin.
So much, you know, again, committed to by Guangdong FREECS to make a Herald play bottom, and it's denied once again from GENG grouping up. They're able to use the ultimate extremely well there, slowing down the Rift Herald's advance, then blowing it up there before it can get the charge off, as this is actually going to be Elm's steal. And that's the one consolation prize they really get here, as Peanut's still able to get away, believe it or not, despite his position there and how greedy the Drake start was. And then Glacial Augment getting a lot of value here for Hoyt, but still, Peanut survives. They don't have Teddy in position to do the damage. They overextend his...
In the meantime, King solo kills Doran there on the top side of the map. Chovy trying to do the same thing in mid lane, but it is not going to work. Fate still has his ultimate, of course, so that was never really going to happen. Chovy not having the lane dominance that we often see up against Fate. Fate having a great time on this tournament. We're seeing exactly why it is consistently banned. And the Gragas also continuing to be that trap card, right? Like, Doran managed to get through the trap card problem in the last game by getting that victory on the Gwen and also showing us exactly how, but this time it doesn't really work, because we're going to check it out from Keen's point of view. Yeah,
watch this one more time. It's just using the fog here. I don't know what Doran's status of his ultimate is here. Oh, he misses it. No. Okay.
Well, that'll do it. Keen going to get exhausted here as Ruler with some decent guns. Moonlight Vigil comes down. Keen takes a bit. It's Hoyt that's tanking up most of it. And as you can see, 26 CS advantage, and Ruler is pretty happy, but the flash had to be used.
Yep. If he has grabbed him there, maybe you can actually turn that into a pick there, but not able to happen. Still going to be fine just with losing his summoner to survive, using the ultimate there as well. I do want to point out that despite what I was kind of leaning towards, Keen will actually build the chem tank again here on the Sakali. So despite the nerf and the kind of rework on how that procs, he's going to be building it to be tanky, be frustrating to deal with once he does go into these fights.
Tanky mask build, I like it.
Right now, though, with all of that Herald gold denied, plus the plates, the turret going down, Ruler picking up so much money in this game, that's really where the big gap is, unfortunately. Even with the kill that we saw from Keen on the top side of the map, and even though Chovy hasn't been able to do Chovy things in terms of his CS numbers here, GENG are sitting pretty right now on a composition that is already better scaling at the moment. Like they're hitting their strides a lot cleaner. They have full map control, and that's historically speaking this season where Kwangdong have really struggled.
Yeah, and as the game goes on, that's when that coordination is, starts to get put under a microscope. And that's when things start to get difficult. But they might be able to figure things out as Chovy distorts in a random direction. That looked a lot of fun. As LM double Rift Heralds here for Kwangdong FREECS. Can the second time work out better is the question. Is Hoyt going to get discovered for a moment?
I think you just, insta-drop this because you know they're grouped bottom. You have a ward, you can see that. You saw that rotation down of Lisa, and you know exactly where GENG are grouped up. So put your money in the top side of the map here. Akali goes bottom. You need Teddy to get this gold, and he will finally get one of these Rift Heralds to give him some extra money. It will be no plates, but at least the 300 gold there on the turret.
Yep. Popcorn Chicken's going to get denied there by Peanut as Fate shoved this wave towards the turret. And as you can see, GENG ahead everywhere outside of the top lane, but even there, only about 480.
It's been a very different look for Doran so far this season. He's played mostly weak side, whereas on KT last year, how many times did Hirai pat him on the shoulder and you see Doran roll his eyes and R5 Aatrox again, all right. Yeah. But now he's playing this Gragas pick very well. He played, earlier on the season that Ornn we saw in the Damwon Kia series, played a little bit of Graves into slower matchups. So he's really coming to his own as a very different style of player here in this year compared to last. Liking to see it.
Yeah, GENG looking to grab themselves this first Cloud Drake. It's extra movement speed for this composition that loves to reposition so much will actually be very valuable. I really like it. Now we do have a slight change. His teleport to come through. Doran wants to put himself on the front line, and he will absolutely do that, but they're not going to go for any engage right now as Chovy dashes over, and this is how they have to play this, right? You need to be tricky.
Yeah.
To get around and try to get things where your opponent cannot actually, and then get them out of position with all of your ultimates that have the ability to do so.
Kwangdong.
And the barrels.
They should start the Drake. I mean, you've got this whole choke point controlled. Use it. See, now you've given Chovy enough time to get around the other side here. And suddenly Fate's on the running one.
Whoa, that is so much damage. By the way, Aphelios is a poke champion, and Kwangdong FREECS have to get the heck out of there.
Oh, they had such a good control over the Drake to start it out. They had the choke point controlled. GENG are like, come to me, come to me. Yeah, I've got Cask, I've got the Monsoon. Like, I absolutely will smash any team comp that tries to walk through this choke. So you use that power to start a Drake. That Fate should have been attached to that one there, I think, earlier on. And then GENG has had one opportunity when Chovy came around and they lost formation. Bam, Moonlight Vigil comes through. It's deathless, but...
Oh, that's another party cast there from Doran, who's just going to walk it out. He's like, yeah, nah, this is, not the greatest as now. It's Keen diving towards that backline. Ruler trying to escape as the exhaust is good, but it's not going to be enough. They trade 1-for-1 in the end, but Keen gets what he wanted. Congratulations for it, my friend.
Extremely high-risk play, by the way, because I'm pretty sure that was an Akali teleporting to that turret, which went down as he walked out of the teleport.
Yeah.
If he had been canceled there, would have lost his teleport, and they would have gotten nothing for it. But just very razor-thin there.
Yep.
We'll have to watch the replay. I'm like 99% sure he teleported to the turret and not the minions, because we are, of course, post 14 minutes. But he is able to pull it off, so at least is able to trade something.
Now let's have a look at the poke champion extraordinaire.
They had control of this choke, but as soon as Chovy came out, they back away, and then he has a free opportunity to ult there. As we'll watch this, Cask missed, sadly.
And also, Ruler was like, I've got some sick Aphelios ults. That's what he said during that replay. It's very cute thing.
Yeah. And to watch this fight again, very well field here by Doran, as best as he could. Did flash, of course, to try to look for the body slam. And the teleport on the turret at the moment where he did it, it was fairly healthy, so yeah, was not a bad choice per se, but it was almost down.
Indeed, and as we can see, as the dust is settling, 10 CS advantage here on the bottom side of the map, very even towards the top side now, even in the jungle as well. And Chovy has a 7 CS lead in the mid lane.
Yeah. We're reading the CS numbers out. That's how big a lull that might be.
It's 20 minutes, you know. It's a time where we have to address that. 3 minutes on the Drake, and Baron not going to be looked at for the moment.
Nope, not at the moment. Scuttle held by Kwangdong Freaks, and GENG are going to look to try to take away a lot of this vision. They won't be able to remove the Scuttle, but can otherwise be very frustrating to deal with around here. Clearing some of those wards. On the bottom side of the map, you know, what's somewhat surprising here in this scenario where Keen is looking for champions elsewhere, is that Doran is actually able to side lane freely at the moment. No one is bothering him, no one is touching him, and he's very happy for that.
Yep.
Wants to get that Thornmail online.
Yeah, we'll see how it does end up eventuating as the Bloodthirster completed here for Ruler. Ruler going to be the main character here for GENG. They just want him to get all of the damage that he possibly can. Keen, of course, doing a lot of work on Kwangdong Freaks, but with their composition, right, as we saw in that last fight, the Moonlight Vigil stopped them from being able to do anything, but you were talking about this, right? The fact that Kwangdong need to actually make moves, get in there and do something. Like, we watched the DRX series, like, they don't do that.
Yeah, they don't.
They haven't been able to. Like, they really need to play against what they've demonstrated. They're going to make this comp work.
FREECS last year had a similar problem early on in spring. So we saw a lot of those games. Remember when Bang was the AD carry last year, like where he actually was just like, all right, guys, I'm going to carry this game. Please just give me 40 minutes. And we had some really long FREECS games. This feels very similar in terms of how Teddy is playing this out versus the Bang era before Leo last year for Kwangdong Freaks, where they're like, okay, better not make any mistakes, and hopefully we have this late game scaling jinx for Teddy, and it's going to work out. And unfortunately, GENG just don't give you that breathing room. They're not going to give you time. They're going to push deep into the blue side jungle here. Look for picks. I mean, Peanut, look at how deep he's going right now. And there's just no vision because he's cleared it all out.
Oh, dear. Okay, I was looking at
Hello.
Teddy. Yep, Peanut, he's going to come on over. Gets the flash out of Teddy. Gale Force as well, and there's a big old dab. A deserved one there from Peanut. And that is going to mean that next time he tries to do that, Teddy is dead.
Yeah, and with no cleanse as well, there's just really no recourse as Fate.
Oh my god, Chovy gonna get the ult out of Fate here. Looks like the first ult that we've seen is there's the flash. The Ignite is down as well, and Fate's just gonna die to it. Chovy grabs the solo kill in a side lane post 20 minutes.
Post 20 minutes on a Tryndamere. It's like, I got you down to low. You're gonna have to press that R button. I'm gonna tick through it. The Ignite pick here on the LeBlanc, perfect for this specific scenario. You give up a lot.
Did he have Q available? That was the thing that was weird to me, because he had Max Fury. Like, that's a decent heal, even through Ignite. Probably saves him.
Yeah, I would have to see the replay to see. I think he did have it, actually. Perhaps just thought the ultimate would outlast the Ignite and miscalculated there. But
yeah, very strange.
Yeah.
But, I mean, why not? I don't know. I don't know why you'd hold it for any reason.
Yeah, exactly.
It might
like,
have been
why not?
just on cooldown.
Yeah, it might have been. I mean, that's what makes more sense. But GENG now, with that pick, just easily going to coast through this Drake, no problem. And they're not going to spend a lot of resources. Doran's here just to make sure nobody goes over the wall, does any sort of shenanigans. And then GENG are basically still in control of the map. Free farming Aphelios mid. Chovy's just going to sit over here and not going to be too greedy.
Yeah.
Kwangdong are like...
Or is he?
They don't...
Keeping him interested.
They might have left.
Gold the lead. This might help turn it around as, okay, how tricky can Chovy be is the question.
He does have no flash from that last play.
Yeah, well, the Shuriken will connect here as Chovy tries to get out. It's not going to work. Keen actually playing that one beautifully. Only him was required in order to make that one happen.
And Keen is the only saving grace here for Kwangdong Freaks right now in this game. And Teddy could be later on.
The more things change, the more they stay
Yeah,
safe.
right?
Oh, my God. Well, Fate taking a lot of damage there. Doran going to hit a barrel, but hits Fate the wrong direction. He has Flash. He's not going to try and go for any big old dives, and the ultimate was still available there from the Tryndamere.
He's just going to try to annoy Tryndamere. In Doran's biggest win here likely would have been to get the Flash. If he's able to get the Tryndamere ultimate, that's also pretty massive.
Yep.
Because then you could set up for Baron, where the enemy Tryndamere doesn't have ult. So you feel really good about that exchange either way, as we're going to go all the way back to Fate just having no vision here. And I don't think he does. Oh, he used it there. Used it early. And then still the burn comes through. So
Yeah.
a little bit early on that one, considering the ultimate was active. It didn't need it at that moment, but I'm not a Tryndamere main.
This was beautifully done from Keen, though.
Yep.
Some would say that it was perfect.
I knew you were going to do. I knew it was coming. First caster to ever make that one.
Yeah, no, I've never made that joke before in my life, and I'm sure nobody else has either. So my originality is still intact, obviously.
We're sitting at a pretty significant gold lead here for GENG, but I mean right now you do have a Tryndamere on the other side of the map, side laning, but you can't four-man this because GENG are coming to check. And so you're, again, just grouped up as multiple players here as Kwangdong FREECS trying to clear vision and trying to look for maybe a pick, but GENG are just one step faster than you. And Doran does have teleport, so he can actually stay bottom and then appear here at a flank angle.
Yep.
And he has that ward there at the bottom of the mid lane next to the Raptor camp he could teleport to if he wants to do a long con flank. And right now, Kwangdong FREECS, I mean, there is no objective to fight over. They don't have a lot of side lane pressure with the Zakali.
There is a mid lane, though, Wolf, and they can just go there.
I was kind of trying to say
space.
I was going to try to say everything but that until eventually it just became clear that's what they were doing. But I mean, look, their comp in this game, like, you can't really blame them for doing a little bit of.
And they do kind of just want to go 1-3-1, right? Yeah. It wants to be three of them sitting in the mid lane. They want Fate. Probably top is ideally where he is because he doesn't have teleport, and they want to play around Barons, I would assume. Although right now, I guess in 2 minutes' time, the Cloud Soul is going to be important, as now we're setting up for a potential gank onto Keen. Hoyt in the area. As, yeah, Peanut going to get out, and him and Chovy not going to be able to find the pickups that they were looking for, as Doran here on the bottom side, keeping Fate busy.
Yep, the Fimbulvinter is done, so he is a lot more annoying to deal with now. Can buy a lot more time in the side lane, too, if there was going to be an all-in by Fate.
Yep.
Which is ill-advised at this stage, and it's a very slow meta right now, but it's Kwangdong FREECS who play a very slow game. They don't threaten. They don't look for, big 4v3 fights. They're not like, aha, I think we have one-man advantage. We're going to look for a fight here. They just wait for objectives. And that is, I think, what we're going to be doing for the next 75 seconds or so until that cloud spawns, because GENG also don't yet have the damage to do this Baron or start it. To look for a fight there.
Or do they? Have you seen Ruler? The guy is just huge.
Yeah, he alone is a lot of damage, but the rest of the composition, with Tank Gragas, Elisa in here, it's going to take a little bit more time.
Potentially.
I don't think they want to risk it right now, considering Kwangdong's composition, and putting those health bars low to do a Baron means that things can get very dicey when the front line runs in. But Kwangdong, I think, really need to, trading Baron for Soul here, I think, is not advised. And it looks like that's what they want to do. And the thing is, GENG also can identify this really easily and then just say, well, I'm not going to let you trade. So I think, like you were saying, playing around that bottom Drake is probably the play here for Kwangdong. Try to group up, try to get better vision, try to deny that Soul. If you can win that team fight, then you could turn it into a Baron. But
yeah,
like right now, they grouped up here, and then GENG is like, well, I call your bluff. I'm going to get better vision here. I already still have better vision on the Drake. And
the thing that I'm looking at, though, is GENG. Oh, okay, Ellen taking a fair bit of damage, but the chains do not land. So we are going to reset. 5,000 gold is a bigger lead than we saw at all stages from the last game. Is even the 5-point strike not going to connect. Good body slam there onto Keen, who will get slowed down. But it's Ruler that's not in trouble, and that is going to be the main thing.
They want to trade this, it looks like, again. But you've got to be more decisive than this if you're going to trade. And so they don't trade, actually. They don't even start it because they're like, ooh, it looks like it's gonna be solo, and now GENG's going to get both.
This is actually so smart from GENG, though, because they just call Kwangdong's bluff, right? They're like, well, you guys aren't going to start it. You guys don't really do that much at all. So they're just going to take this one for free, and that is just Cloud Soul given over to GENG. And now they're going to be even more slippery than they were in the first one.
This is when Kwangdong needs to make a snap decision to either turn as they're near Baron and try to look for plays there, try to be aggressive with their Tryndamere and the Akali and the Xin Zhao, try to blow up a single target, even Chovy, force him back, make some sort of play, burn some summoners, do anything, because if you just go, oh yeah, we can't do this, then of course GENG is going to say, well, if you're not doing anything, I'm just going to take this Drake for free.
Well, Doran, yeah, he's going to get backflipped on, but Keen not going to go too aggressive. Doesn't know where the rest of the team is, so they are going to back away. Is going to be some comeback potential now for Quandong Freaks.
And because they grouped up here as 4 bottom onto a tanky Gragas, they're like, okay, well, guess who's on the top side of the map then, since you guys all showed down there for 1 player. Then they have to go so slowly through this because they have no vision.
Oh, no, Doran just going to body slam. There's the flash forward. They want to go on top of him as Keen getting himself into the back line. Does go golden. Now looking for his opportunity, but the backflip is tanked there by Doran. Moonlight Vigil goes down. There's now Element Peanut swap places. And Kwangdong Freaks are on the run, but that's exactly what GENG want. They can move back to the Baron. Ruler can deal with this mid lane, and then they can slip into darkness one more time.
Some critical ultimates lost, but they still have that Monsoon, so going through this chokes is going to be nigh impossible here as Kwangdong Freaks. They were able to win out that exchange and stop the Baron from happening, but like you said, it only buys time. And look at how quickly GENG are able to clear that vision away. So once again, they have to come in with the sweepers. They have to move in so slowly, and that's not time they have.
Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic from GENG because they do this Baron so incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
Quandong Freaks, they have to get over here, but remember the disengage options. There are a billion of them for GENG, and yes, they have vision, but they just watch the thing go down as Chovy is taking Fate for a walk, and Fate has to go back to the fountain now, as well as Quandong Freaks is getting run around. Keen finds his way into the backline, but Ruler eliminates him. And GENG are just doing exactly what they want this game.
Doran with a really nice body slam to lock him down. That's why Akali's so hard to execute.
That's not over yet, as Hoyt's going to get tagged by the Sonic Wave. Teddy's going to get taken down, and once again, it's another beautiful team fight from GENG, and they just have so much movement speed, man.
Yeah,
There's no getting away from them.
Plus, you know, when they traded on that first exchange, right, they have the, you know, Janna's got that healing item here, so...
Yeah, the Moonstone's done.
Moonstone is done, so like you just heal up so quickly, you do the Baron so fast. Kwangdong Freaks is getting out macroed again here. And it's only an 11-kill game, but GENG looks so dominant.
They look just amazing. That is just going to be the kill onto Fate before he could even press his ultimate button. Not able to work out. Yes, he laned relatively well, but outside of that, things didn't really work as Ruler finds himself an ult. Keen wants to be able to eliminate him, but the Nexus is also going to go down. The perfect execution not so great this time around, and GENG, that's a very comfortable 2-0, and man, they looked good while they did it. This is looking like a team that could be going places, Wolf.
I think so too. I mean, just how they read. My favorite part of the game was when they stayed bot,